Today, I'll be installing a full Magnaflow exhaust on my 1988 BMW 535IS. Since I've owned this car, I've been the only person to put hands on it and bring it to where it is today. I've been the only person to fix it up and work on it, but today that streak ends because I won't be installing the exhaust myself. I'll be bringing it to TySpeed shop here in Jackson, New Jersey, and they'll be bolting the system on for me. This exhaust was picked up used, but is still in great shape. I've had it sitting for over a year, and today it's finally going on. I decided to clean it up a bit, remove any surface rust, and even coated it in a high temp primer to help delay any future corrosion that will definitely reappear. And I bet you're wondering, you've already done all this work, why don't you just install it yourself? Well, there's only one simple explanation really. Bruh, it is way too cold for this shit.
Where is it? In pieces.
In pieces, okay.
Because it needs to go to the machine shop.
What's wrong with it then?
We did not do any of the body work.
Okay. Disclaimer.
Tell me what the point of over fenders are if you don't cut the fenders underneath.
What the hell? Oh my god. He didn't even slice them up or anything? Nothing.
No.
He just bolted the body kit right on?
I don't know who did it, but they just slapped it on.
Whatever works for you. All the brackets should be there. O2 sensors there. The only thing you just gotta do is unbolt the whole thing and put in the new one. Yeah, everything should be in place.
And then do the selector shaft seal and all that.
Yes, sir. Removing the exhaust gives you access to the shifter assembly above the transmission. Since the exhaust will already be out of the way, I even let them rebuild my shifter so my shifts would be nice and crispy. And now I'll show you some of the main components that need to be replaced to rebuild your shifter. It's mostly a combination of the shifter arm bracket with a new bushing, new shift lever bushing, and a shift linkage bushing, along with a selector joint. I'm going to put a diagram on the screen so you can see exactly where these parts go. I guess we could just hop in here and I could show you some of the play. The play isn't that bad, but I really like going to TySpeed, so I thought might as well let them fix this up for me. It's not that bad, but we can still take some of that play out of here. Not bad at all. First, yeah, see if we can get rid of some of that, I'd be happy. A few hours later and the car was ready to go. The shifter was rebuilt and the exhaust was mounted without any issues, and I even had them replace my transmission mounts. All new hardware was used for this install, including hangers, gaskets, bolts, and even a new O2 sensor, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Seeing how dirty the car was underneath, priming was definitely a good idea. But looks don't really matter, so let's just see how it sounds. This car finally seems like it's alive again. Before, it was just so riced out, loud, and obnoxious, and although amusing, it just wasn't something you could daily drive. Props to Magnaflow, because this really is a great system, and I was kind of confused why a lot more people weren't running it, but it is discontinued, pretty hard to get, and that's where the price comes in. This exhaust is about $1,000, just the exhaust, and the midpipe is close to another $1,000. It's like $800 or $900, and then the install was close to $1,000 as well. And I know I could have saved it myself, but it's just so cold out here. I really didn't want to do it myself, and you know, I just got it done. Worth it, you know, that's up to you to decide, but to me, yeah, it's worth it. Great system. It's not raspy, it's not droney. It's just like the perfect daily. This car has finally become the perfect daily. and I'm gonna turn around and you'll hear some of that nice crisp. The M30 engine was probably one of the best engines BMW has ever made, and with this exhaust, it's really given its personality back to itself, and it's like an exhaust note I've never really heard before, and I really love it. I really do. The shifter came out so crispy. It wasn't too bad before, but in first to second gear, when you're shifting from first to second, you always get some sort of snag on these old cars. It's like you try to put it into second and it just gets caught up on something and you have to slam it in. Your car kind of bounces back and forth. But with those 3 parts, what was it, 3 or 4 parts, shift, linkage, bushing, all those 3 bushings, whatever, the car is just shifting fantastically. There's no jerks, there's no snag, there's nothing like that anymore. You can see here with the windows down. The car's actually quick. It's not fast, but it's quick. It's got that torque. And an E28, everyone it just seems to turn heads. It's just an old car, a little bit of love to it, and it just grabs so much attention, and I love it. That half exhaust from before, I couldn't even hear myself talk inside the cabin. I couldn't listen to music. I couldn't talk to a person in the passenger seat. It was nuts. And this just was really the cherry on top of this car. And after all the work I've done to it, you've got lights, you've got sound, you've got reliability, you've got electric seats, windows, everything. Everything works good, and that's the thing. And I just couldn't be happier with this car. Here's another quick look at the shifter. If you remember before, it already wasn't that bad, so my expectations really wasn't that high. But look at that, man. Come on. Bounce. Bounce. Perfect. And if you put in the first, this is where we had that little bit of wiggle room that I wanted to get rid of. And that's exactly what we did. This thing is crispy now. The only real issue with this shifter before it was rebuilt is when you're in first and you try to put it into second, it would kind of get hung up like right there, and you have to slam it back and the car would jerk around a little bit, but not anymore. Bam. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, dude. With all that said, if I haven't convinced you to buy an E28 yet, I don't know what will. This car is just absolutely awesome. After the shifter, after the exhaust, and all the other work I've put into it, this car is just the perfect daily. And the engine in this car, the M30 engine, just doesn't get the credit that it deserves. The M30 is basically the grandfather of all BMW engines. And my car currently has 270,000 miles on it, and this car is not skipping a beat. There is just like no problem with this car. And it's kind of suspicious, but I don't know what to tell you. I'm just, I don't even know what to fix next because everything's working just so perfectly. I think we're pretty much done with the E28 project, unless I decide to engine swap it, which is kind of pointless because it's working so good. But other than that, I guess this episode is over. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.